Welcome inside the State Champs studios on the campus of Lawrence Technological University. Welcome to State Champs Hockey Time. I'm Jonathan Kidd along with Sean Belisha. Sean, it's the playoffs now.
Let's go. This is what we're talking about. You guys made it. Now the sprint begins. Best of luck to every single team out there.
As always, State Champs Hockey Time is presented by our friends at the Alta Equipment Company. And just a reminder, we got the State Champs Jersey Bracket Challenge going on right now. It's the play-in games right now because we had more than 64 schools participate.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's amazing how many people are retweeting it and talking about it on Twitter and everything. So thank you for your support. And certainly, thanks for getting those jerseys in as well.
Voting will end on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. for the play-in games, and then it's going to be the round of 64, and you can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. Sean, it's the playoffs. It's all about teams being hot at the right time, and obviously you got to have that goalie that's also hot.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you seen it at this level? If a goaltender, elevates his game or carries his team, you like their chances going all the way. I mean, that's just the way it is. I've seen it happen too many times. John, depth is massive. I think depth is massive. When you have a team that can consistently roll 3-4 lines and cause damage, you just wear the other guy down. I mean, that's just the way that it is. So those are two huge factors. Hey, listen, part of it is, how's your road there? And I'm not diminishing anything from anybody because once you get to Final Four, you have to win at USA Hockey Arena to be called a champion. But, look, let's be honest. Some roads aren't as difficult as other roads. That doesn't mean a team can't go win the championship or will win the championship as well.
And it's also going to be interesting this year. You got a few teams that are coming off a quarantine, and it's going to be their first game in like 2 to 3 weeks. How's those teams going to handle that?
That's a great question. It's an age-old question as well. The whole rest versus rust. And you talk to a few people, and, some people say you want to keep the hot things going. I had a chance many years ago in a former radio life. I had Chris Chelios on as an in-depth guy a few days a week, and he told me he wanted the rest. So it depends on the guy. I don't think there's a right answer. For some teams, it might be a good thing. For some teams, it might not be a good thing.
All right, so we are now going to preview the MHSAA hockey playoffs, and we're going to start in Division I, and we're going to remind the viewers that Detroit Catholic Central is the defending state champs. What do you see as like a sleeper, or that we're going to see that like, wow, they're at USA Hockey Arena?
Are we allowed to say Brighton as a sleeper? I don't think we are allowed to say Brighton is a sleeper. We talk about it all the time. This is Brighton's time of year, right? Brighton is Brighton, right? I love the way they're playing down the stretch. I had a chance to see them a couple times this year. The first time I saw them, you could tell they were trying to get their legs. The next time I saw them, they looked like a playoff team. They do so many little things. I think Brighton is very dangerous. I think you have to look at Saginaw Heritage as well. Is this a prototypical Saginaw Heritage season? No, it isn't. I think J.J. Bamberger would be the first guy to tell you that. But you know what? Battle-tested. They've made so many runs. They're going to be tough for anybody to beat.
And also, you got on the west side, you got Rockford moving up to Division I this year, and you got Bay Reps up there, too.
Rams are a team, when I did my last ranking, they missed by that much. That's a team to keep an eye on. Bay Reps, are you looking at my sheet, John? Are you cheating over here? I think Bay Reps are going to end up at USA, for what it's worth.
Let's move to Division II. Heartland, the two-time defending state champs in Division II. What do you like about them?
They're tremendous. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the state. We saw an up-close and personal look at them last week in our Alta game here on State Champs. Depth, again, I think they have high-end talent. And, oh, by the way, Piros is vying for the best goaltender in the state right now. They have everything. I'll tell you point blank, John, in years gone by, you could make a case for 4, 5, 6 teams winning in Division II. I don't think you can do that this year. Just one man's opinion. I don't think you can do that. I think there are a couple teams that can make that case.
Talk about a few teams that could make it to USA.
I'm really intrigued at the region up north because I hear nothing but good things about Marquette. Traverse City Central, Coach Givens, another great guy, certainly a legend at this level. I'm really intrigued to see how that plays out there. The one we talk about year in, year out, in recent years, it seems Stevenson, Trenton, Stevenson. Which way are we going? I'm going neither. I like Novi. I honestly, from show one this year, I said I like this Novi team. They were deeper than just Austin Muirhead. I think everybody immediately talks about Muirhead because he played so well. The way Isaac Gibbs has come on, the way that whole team has come on. Mark Vellucci has that team playing very well.
And on the west side of the state, you got that region that's going to be a close eye on with Forest Hills, Northern Eastern, Byron Center, and Mona Shores.
The one that I have a circle on, to be honest with you, I think Byron Center has proven themselves to be the best. Mona Shores is going to have that opportunity. Obviously, Annie is going to have that opportunity. Heartland Byron Center. I'm really looking at that because you know what? Here, I'm going to say it again. And we talked to Dan Giacchino about this. I don't know. I haven't seen it with my own two eyes. I haven't had a chance to see Byron Center. I know what they've done the last few years. Heck, we've had them on a lot of our rankings over the last couple of years, but I don't know. Their record can't be denied. They're unbeaten. Is it a situation where I'm going to say that they can't knock off Heartland? Well, what I've seen from Heartland, I really do think they're the best team, but Byron Center is going to have an opportunity to scream loud and clear for everybody to hear. Brother Rice, I really like the team that Kenny's got. I think they have depth. I think they have arguably the best line in the state. I think they've got a darn good goaltender back there as well.
If you're a high school athlete with the dream of playing college sports, Lawrence Technological University wants you to recruit yourself. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports, including its newest additions, competitive cheer and dance, esports, women's hockey, and men's and women's track and field. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
There's a feeling every player seeks of being in complete control. Responsive, instinctual, completely unrelenting. Every player chases this feeling, but the best hold on to it.
All right, it's time now for our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update. So Sean brought back the gloves.
These are great gloves, and perfect fit right there with the Covert QRE10. So again, shout out to Warrior. Support the people that support us. Thank you, Warrior, for making this great event happen.
Remember, you can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. Our top 10 stays the same from last week. We did make a change we didn't get a chance to talk about in last week's show was Andrew Larson from Heartland.
He's unbelievable. Again, we had a chance to see him up close and personal for our Ulta Game of the Week, and then I saw him again against Novi. I think what Coach Gadwa said about him is true. He's like a magnet, and he attracts the puck. And vice versa. Honestly, it always seems that he's in the right place at the right time. He can find the puck. He's got one speed, and it's go. It is a joy to watch him play. It really is. There's something about hockey in that family.
Yeah. His brother won Mr. Hockey.
Absolutely, and Andrew is continuing a proud tradition. He's one of those guys, John, the best way to describe him, I was talking to another coach about this, and we came to the conclusion, watch him play. That would be we could sit here and talk about all the things that he does, and we did a bit, but you know what? You watch him play. He goes. I'll tell you what, he's a big part of why Heartland is, once again, in your truly opinion, the team to beat in Division II.
Remember, you can cast your vote at statechampsnetwork.com. Like we said last week in the show, we are not going to freeze our top 10. We're going to wait till after the quarterfinals to freeze our top 10 and eventually going to pick our final four.
Yeah, can't wait to do it. That's always a fun time, John, when we exchange a bunch of text messages with a bunch of coaches and everything. And, hopefully this year we get a chance to do it when all is said and done.
And that is our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year update.
Time for our Coaches Corner, brought to you by the Coaches Association. One of those fine coaches here in the great state of Michigan happens to be the head coach up at Calumet. Sorry, Coach, but we've had you at number one the last couple of weeks. Let's welcome him in, the head coach of the Calumet Copper Kings, Coach Dan Giacchino. Dan, really appreciate you taking the time today. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good, and I certainly thank you for the opportunity.
Dan, this year has been a year unlike any other, but if we can for just a moment, let's talk about what happened a year ago at this time. I mean, it was devastation for everybody. I think especially, you guys driving all the way down here. The Copper Kings mean so much to that community. Just tell us what that meant to you from your perspective.
And I've told numerous people this, but that was the hands down hardest coaching day of my life. To tell those kids that their season ended on a practice rink in Novi. It's just the uncontrollableness of the whole thing. And when you coach at a small school, you get so many bites at the apple over the course of time. And, it certainly felt, at least from our perspective, that we felt like we had a really good chance to win something. And, to basically lose and not have it happen on the ice it was tough. It was a tough pill to swallow, but, I think the kids have come back more resilient than ever this year.
I was going to ask, how much of a motivation is that for the guys that are returning this year? Is that something that's been a rallying cry, or are you leaving last year and just focusing on the now?
I think there's a certain amount of it that you have to leave in last year. But we've just been trying to emphasize on the kids this year that, every day we get is a bonus. It didn't look like we were going to have a season for a while, or if we did, it was going to be, really short. And obviously this year is short, but even more so, where we would have been playing hockey into May or June. So we're just thankful, trying to drive that home every day, that we're thankful we're getting the opportunity, and we got to take advantage of it.
Dan Cicchino kindly joining us here on Hockey Time. It's the Coach's Corner. Dan, this is such a strange year because, in years gone by, we would have had a chance to chat with you in person in Trenton to finally get a chance to see you guys play. You talk about the uncertainty from the media. For you coaches, this has got to be different. You get a chance to come down here and see these teams. Now you're watching footage. How much of a change has that been for you and your coaching staff?
Yeah, we don't have all those games against the Metro Detroit area teams that we play. I kind of wrote those games down a few days ago, and I think it's in the neighborhood of 10 to 12 games between Trenton and Cranbrook and UD Jesuit and Brighton. And when you rattle off those names, those are the best teams in the state every year. And that's the measuring stick. It's hard to tell where you fit in. You got to watch some film, and if we're fortunate enough to get out of here and get to Plymouth, we're going to have to do a lot of film work to try to catch up, and hopefully there's some cooperative coaches out there. It's going to be a challenge.
I say it each and every year. We've been doing this show for years. I'm going to say it every year. I feel sorry for yourselves, for Hancock, for Houghton. It just seems like every year there's at least two. This year it seems like there's three teams up there. But let's face it, I think you guys have separated yourself from the pack this year. What is making this Copper Kings team so successful right now? You guys are still unbeaten, only a single tie, but how's this all working from your vantage point?
We lost 10 seniors from last year. And then we also lost, Tanner Rowe is gone from the program. He's moved on, and he would have been a senior this year. So we lost 11 kids out of 18. So there was a lot of question marks, and there was a lot of uncertainty as to what we were going to have. We also didn't know if we were going to have Dean Locus, playing for us or not. So there was a lot of uncertainty with what we were going to have in the locker room this year, and I hate to use the word surprise because I certainly had a lot of confidence and have a lot of confidence, but you just, with so much changeover, you didn't know. What's been working for us has been team defense. We've done a fantastic job from a defensive standpoint. Shots and quality of shots that we've given up has been pretty reduced. And then when we do have the mistakes, we got a pretty good goaltender sitting there behind us with Axel Locus. And offensively, our first line drives our bus pretty hard. Dean, obviously, with 60 points in 15 games it's just, to me, is ridiculous. I don't care who you're playing and what the competition level is. he's putting up 3 to 5 points every night. So it's been the combination of those things, but all the ingredients have gone in and it's been working out pretty well.
I had a coach down here, an opposing coach, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he said to me when I asked him for his take on Dean Locust, he said, it just seems like every year they've got 2 or 3 locusts. So maybe you can answer this question. Are there more locusts? Because every one of the locusts you guys are getting, you mentioned Axel as well, it just seems like these kids can all play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We had Brent come through, and now Dean's a senior, and and Axel's now kind of on the beginning of his career. And we also have Danny Locust is another cousin that is also a sophomore on our team this year. And we have a few more coming up the pipeline. I don't believe there's any at the Bantam level for our travel programs, but we have a few at the Pee Wee level. So we got them a little spaced out, but we're excited to have those kids. It seems that every one of those kids from those couple families have been real quality players for us, and we're certainly happy to have them.
This has been such a tough year for everybody, whether you're talking sports, whether you're talking, outside of sports. It's just been a tough year for everybody. What has this team meant to your community? Because I think you've got a special community, and the community and the Copper Kings are one and the same. What has it meant to your community, Coach?
I think it means a lot. I sure wish more people could come and watch. It's one of those things, but hockey gets us through the winter in our small community, and I think the hockey program and I think in our athletics in general at Calumet High School are a pretty big sense of pride for our community. And yeah, to have another quality season, it means a lot. Like I said, I just feel bad. There's a lot of people that come to every game. They don't miss a game. They don't miss a night. They haven't had kids around the program in 20, 30 years, and they keep coming back every single night. And it's unfortunate. Those are the people too that can't get in and come and see the games. And you feel bad for them. I get stopped at the gas station, at the grocery store. Hey, how do I get in? How can you get me in? And it's tough to tell those people I can't. But yeah, it's a big sense of pride and a very bright spot for our community.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan, we look forward to seeing you. Best of luck to you. There's no guarantees getting here. Single elimination, as you well know, but you guys made a great run last year. Best of luck to you guys in the hopes of making another great run this year as well.
All right. Thank you, Sean. And I just from our perspective up here, we thank everything you do for high school hockey. You and John do a tremendous job. And I think the exposure of high school hockey, you guys are having a lot to do with it. So I definitely thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate that. And Mutual Admiration Society, you do a heck of a lot for the sport, and we appreciate you and your team as well. Dan Giacchino kindly joining us, Coach's Corner right here on State Champs.
All right, so we're going to finish up in Division 3.
Honestly, there are a bunch of teams that could say we're going to win the state championship, and I don't think I'd argue with you, and so that's one thing. Whoever navigates Division 3, tip of the cap, baby. Yeah, this is where it's at, John. I think we've been pretty consistent for the last month and a half. Division 3 is where it's at this year. The intrigue happens to be in Division 3 this year.
And what do you think about that regional up north of Calumet, Hancock, and Hope?
Well, listen, here's the dangerous part. It's one game. It's one game. Could you have a goaltender stand on top of his head? Houghton's got the type of goalie that can do that. Calumet has shown to be the best up there this year. There's no doubt about that. They only have one tie. They have all the other games are wins. They've shown themselves to be the best up there, but I think Hancock is a team to be reckoned with, and Solani up front, and again, when you're talking about Houghton, you better bring your hard hat, and they've got the type of goalie that can shut you down. But when all is said and done, I like Calumet coming up.
And what do you think about in the Mid-Michigan area with Flint Powers?
Flint Powers is legitimate. I mean, this is a team I think people forget. They've had really good teams to great teams in the past. I think this is a team that has shown that they are up there with just about anybody. They've shown that they can play with just about anybody. Look at their schedule. Props to Travis Perry for playing some games that, in a year like this, people would probably say, you don't have to play that game. But he did play that game, and he played a few of those games. I like them coming out there. I do. I like Powers coming out. Hey, don't forget, this year you can go on our website. We've got all our picks up on there. John Kidd, Mike Ivesel, yours truly. So you can watch in real time at how bad we are at picking these things. So you can have some fun with that, and certainly I'm sure that you will. But no, John, all jokes aside, I mean, this is the best time of the year, and this is what the kids play for, and I wish every team out there nothing but the best.
Next week's edition of State Champs Hockey Time will be on Tuesday, because we're going to recap the regionals and preview the quarterfinals.
Looking forward to it. Let's go.
In our audio version of our State Champs Hockey Time podcast, you can check out our interview with Detroit Medical Center physician Dr. John Morasso. He talks about hamstring injuries, so check that out. So that's it for another edition of State Champs Hockey Time. So Sean, what do we say?
We'll see you at the rink.
State Champs Hockey Time is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit ltuathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also presented by Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. For all things Michigan High School hockey, go to the hub, MIHSHockeyHub.com. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation, Warrior Hockey, and the new Covert QRE 10 stick. Elite puck feel and quick release for players of all ages. The Warrior Covert QRE 10 stick. There's no feeling like it.